Go get it. Go get it. Photo porso photogenic.
It is perhaps the best home field advantage in all of football, and certainly the loudest, as we welcome you to GEHA Field at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. Today, it's week 3, and we've got a good one in store between the Los Angeles Chargers and the Kansas City Chiefs. It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. This will be returned from deep in the end zone. First carry for James Conner, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Yeah, so they get that one, Charles, on the right tackle.
Yeah, oftentimes in that spot, you're trying to work against a defender, trying to set the edge in the running game, and you're trying to drive around and get your body twisted so that he can't get there. Sometimes your hands get too involved.
They run behind center with Conner, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Herbert. He's got a man complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Here's Herbert. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Hodges. And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. They'll try and run for it with Conner. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, that he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. This defense for the Chiefs, much improved from week 1. They were terrific last week in getting their guys their first win of the season.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there. And they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
3rd and 11. And some extra depth in the secondary here. They're in the dime. Here's Herbert. Finds the open man. It's Mike Williams. And he is going to have the Chargers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
Here's Connor on first down going nowhere as he's going to be stacked up behind the line.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on first and second down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Again, it's Connor. And he'll take it across the 50 and into Chief territory. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
You got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
On 3rd down, it's Connor. And great blocking downfield as he's got this almost to the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 11 and a first down L.A.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4, 2nd down coming up.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. A play fake, and now Herbert to throw. He's got his man. That's Everett, the tight end. Touchdown, Chargers. Gerald Everett, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Chargers are on the board first here on the road in Kansas City. Hopkins with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. He will take this all the way. Touchdown, Chiefs. Well, there you go. They gave up the score to start the game, and as quick as they could get it back, they did on the return.
And people talk about this all the time, whether you're coaching it, whether you're trying to work on it, whether you're just trying to put in the minds of your players. Attack back as fast as you can after giving up a score. No quicker way than on a kick return.
Extra point by Butker is on target, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Charger drive about to get going. Early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice. But at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. This offense so far on 3rd down, a perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This will be 3rd and 6. Again, a run with Connor. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
We knew both of these safeties were good in run support, but how about the play we just saw there? How about that closing speed? Able to get to the outside part of the field and turn that play into a loss.
A 7-yard return following a punt of 45 yards. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. Rams will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. And some room to work. And he makes it all the way down to the 19. It's a big run there by Henry. And even 50 yards. Well, hello. I mean, it took him a while to get him a rep, but that's quite an introduction to this game.
And not just hello. How about goodbye to the defense as he went past him? Big-time run on his first carry of the game.
And they'll work this down to the 15 for a pickup of 4.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Mahomes taps this forward. It's a jet sweep. And he will score. Touchdown, Kansas City. A great play there. A touchdown on a kick return and now one through the air. And the Chiefs have taken the lead. Extra point by Butker is on target. And that makes the score 14-7. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula that got them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they can get this game tied up.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They stay on the ground. Here's Connor again. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. They'll get only 3 there, so it leaves them with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Going to throw on 3rd down with Herbert. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Juan Thornhill. And the Chiefs are going to take possession of the football. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now. Showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. So after the INT, here's Mahomes. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
I think we can all understand what they're thinking right now. They take over the ball in field goal range after the turnover, so they've got that in their hip pocket. But they've got to go for the end zone and turn this into bigger points. Their thinking is a touchdown is really what they should get from starting here. Getting 3 points at the end of this drive, that would feel disappointing.
And he'll be close to a first down at the Chargers' 18-yard line. 58 yards on the ground for him so far.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They fake the give. Now Mahomes. He's got his man. That's Hardman. And the Chiefs are going to have 1st and goal coming up as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 2.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter, 14-7. Mahomes taps this forward. It's a jet sweep. And he will score. Touchdown, Kansas City. A great effort there. On his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Chiefs go up by 2 touchdowns. Extra point by Butker is on target. And it's now 21-7. The touchdown. Here's Butker on to kick it away. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15. The Charger drive about to get going. As the offense comes out here, Charles, maybe perhaps a bit more of a focus on the run game for this drive after tossing an interception on the previous one?
I think that's a good way to look at it and a good way to think about it, but maybe they get to it in a little bit different way, because after you throw an interception, you want to make sure you keep your quarterback's confidence high. So maybe give him a couple easy throws that he can complete and then get to the running game and try and get things settled down.
Yeah, and still in the first half here, a long way to go. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Charger first.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
A little bit of space there for the first down run, as that's going to get him about 5 yards.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
On second down, Connor looking for space. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. He'll buy some time right. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down.
I'm not quite sure what he thought he saw there, but the reality was certainly a much different picture than what he anticipated. And give credit to the defense. They were down on the flash when he broke out of there, and they forced him out with almost nothing to show for his efforts.
7th play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. Herbert. That's going to be complete to his tight end, Everett. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime.
First down, Los Angeles.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Justin Herbert looking to pass. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Chiefs will take over here at their own 12-yard line. Second straight drive now here, Charles, that have ended with an interception.
And I just wonder, because I don't think it's going to rattle him necessarily, but I also wonder if it's going to unnerve him a little bit. Does it lead to another one? Or does he find a way to pull it together and become sharp again?
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And with only 4 seconds on the clock, time likely for just one snap of the football. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. So we've come upon halftime here in Arrowhead with the Chiefs on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth ready for quarter number 3. Ready for the start of the third quarter. The Chiefs have the lead and set to receive the football. Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. Second half begins with a run by Henry. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for second down.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. On play action, it's Mahomes. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. So it's kind of more of the same offensively. This was a team needing to come out of this third quarter with a little fire. Instead, they put the ball on the ground.
And you know that has to be the discussion at halftime because they're down 2 scores. We got to come out with a little bit more urgency than we had in the first half. Now that urgency falls on their defense because they can't fall down 3 scores and hope to come back and win this game.
Now, first down run with Henry that time as he maneuvers forward for about 4 yards.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Second down, they go again with Henry. Oh, he's got some breathing room. Derrick Henry all alone. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Charger drive about to get going. As this offense takes the field against CD. Remember last drive, they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in this second half. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Calling the gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a third and about 5.
I know the speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
From the gun, Herbert on third down. To the right side, and he's got Landry complete. And he is going to have the Chargers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
But now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, second and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
Herbert's throw taken in by Landry. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage, as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage, because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
On first down, Justin Herbert eluding the pressure right. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
I'm sure it was a tough halftime trying to figure out some strategy to get things going. Trailing by a lot when they went into the locker room. He's just trying every avenue to spark his team here to begin the third quarter. Not a lot going on that play, though.
On 2nd and 10, Herbert. He finds his man, complete. That's Hodges. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 27 yards there, a first down.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
We know all the receivers go through those tiptoe drills, right, trying to get their feet down inbounds. But a lot of the times what we don't talk about is when they're up in the air and they catch the ball. You ever notice how they're reaching back with their feet? Not just straight down, but back, because they're trying to create enough distance to make sure their feet are in bounds. They weren't able to get it done.
Touchdown! Mike Williams from 17 yards out. And the Chargers are able to cut into that deficit. Well, on that connection, it looked like they maybe had some pre-play communication. Maybe one of them noticed an area that was open in the defense to get the pass to.
When you put the time in, sometimes you have that great silent communication that you just noticed right there, because the best quarterback-receiver combos in the NFL, they know how to make those adjustments at the line of scrimmage when they see something pre-play, and they got it done there.
He will return this from deep in the end zone. And he'll be out of bounds here just past the 20-yard line. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Their lead down from 21 to 14, but still sitting at a great spot, up 2 scores here in the third quarter. And not much doing there, maybe a yard up to the 23.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
That was well defended, and while it was a completion, it resulted in a loss of yardage. It's really, really hard for a running back to think to himself, I probably should have just dropped it and saved the yardage. It goes against the entire training that he's had his whole...
He rifles one that's intercepted. And the Chargers are going to take possession of the football. So a potential momentum shifter there, working with a 2-score lead, third quarter, but that, not the smartest of throws.
I would agree with you on that one, because this game is still very much in the balance. It felt pretty one-sided to this point, but now, if these guys can turn this turnover into points, things could start getting a little more interesting.
That is caught. It's Williams. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. A good pickup there, 21 yards. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another. We're back now in KC. It's Charger football, but they trail here as we get going in quarter number 4. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Herbert takes it and just pops it forward.
The ball carried by the wide receiver. Brought down at the 2-yard line. A gain of 5 brings up second and goal.
Two of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on second and goal. Connor will take this into the end zone for a Charger touchdown. That almost looked too easy, and I think thanks goes to the offensive line for making it look easy.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one. I'm not sure how much everyone understands the preparations that go into a game for an offensive line, because there's a reason that running backs and quarterbacks give them big gifts at the end of the season after a big year. The consistency and the continuity it takes to know each other and execute their blocks is pretty impressive.
The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. I'm curious to see, Charles, about the play calling on this drive. Last time out, the interception that led to a touchdown. Here we are. I mean, it's very close, one-score game.
Man, if I'm a defender, I'm actually chirping to you on the other side of the ball, saying, hey, we picked off the last one. What you going to do about it now? So when you do throw the football, high percentage, but throw it with confidence. If there's any hesitancy at all, it could end up in enemy's hands again.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Running from the gun with Henry. And he powers his way up past the 30. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
An extra cornerback now in the game for the Chargers here on 3rd. Now Mahomes. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them, because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
A punt of 46, a return of 5. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going. And it feels like the momentum has shifted. They scored, and their defense forces that last punt. And now a chance to tie the game on this possession. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down.
I got the sense that the defense created a little momentum for him there, didn't it?
Did their job, forced the punt. Now, nice start to the drive. Offense has to do their part.
Yeah, they certainly do, but what a great start for them. They've got to go thank the guys on D.
Calling a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he could break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Connor up the middle. Pushing forward for 3 up to the 48. That's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
They'll stay on the ground with Connor again. And he's got the first down yardage there as he takes it just across midfield. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
But sometimes, Brandon, it's just not a secret to how things get done. He's been running well all game long, and they continue to rely on him in this key situation.
They told us they were going to rely on him. They have. He comes through there, a big third down conversion. Now, they nearly sprung him that time as he takes this all the way down to the 37.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. 93 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming.
2 things to watch. First is strength and being able to break out that initial contact. But at his size, once you slow his momentum, it's hard for him to get it started again and end up tackling him behind the line of scrimmage.
We've got a 1-score game with inside of 2 minutes remaining. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. And they've got a 4th down now in a game that, to be honest, has been pretty much everything we could have asked for. They'll run for it with Connor. And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
So 1st and 10 after a big mistake on 4th down with a penalty. On the counter, it's Connor. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. A give running right is Connor. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
This is Connor running right. And he's brought down, but not before picking up the first with a very effective stiff arm. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. Clock's under a minute. Still plenty of time, partner. They have all 3 timeouts.
That means they have plenty of options in their play calling and where they target on the field. They can throw it downfield, maybe even in the middle, and use their timeouts.
A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7, but first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. They'll run here with Connor, and he's going to bull his way down to about the 1-yard line. A gain of 4 last play. They double that here and get 8.
I'm a little surprised right here. They've got 3 timeouts left. The clock's running down, and they aren't using them. Those timeouts do you no good at home. Use them now.
They'll try to run it. This is Connor. And he is not going to get in as the big bodies stop him at the 1. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. Third and goal, and keep in mind, very possibly 4-down territory. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. They'll look to run with Connor, and he is across and in for the score. And now they can tie the game in the final stages with the extra point.
Or they can go for 2 and go for the win.
Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good, and we may very well be headed to overtime. So right back to square one, tied at 28 as he kicks it away. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And he'll be out of bounds here just past the 20-yard line. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And Charles, obviously not much time left. I'm curious to see if there's enough for them to get into field goal range and try to win this thing.
And partner, you and I both know the safe calls to kneel and just take it into overtime. But it's also very tough to pass up a chance to win it right now as well. But remember, if you do attempt that, it's got to be a big play downfield and still leave yourself enough time to get your field goal unit out there and kick for the win.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. How about the call to come with the blitz there in this situation?
And some of those calls happen just because of what they do on offense. So when they send out a number of people in the pattern, sometimes they just make a change on defense. Say, okay, we'll come after you instead. And that's exactly what they did.
Finding Kelsey. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game. Mahomes. And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. Final whistle blows, and we need some extra time here to decide who will be the victor.
60 minutes, just not enough some days to decide who's going to win the game.
And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. Charles, you think back to halftime, they had the big lead. They were in control of this game. They lost that lead, but ultimately right now, with the ball in overtime, a chance to win this thing.
And you know each guy's telling his teammate, just let it go. Don't worry about it. We're starting fresh right here. What happened before does not matter. What happens right now and going forward, that's what matters. Let's find a way to win this game.
10th carry now for Derrick Henry. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. 133 yards rushing for him now as his sensational afternoon continues.
That was a good run, and it got to the second level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle. And oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
Just to pick up a 3, but that is indeed enough. I don't want to overhype it, but this is a big early season game, especially an overtime win. That can give you a big boost going forward in the season.
It certainly can, and I don't think you're overhyping it because cliches go out the window when you start to play overtime. And you're right, the winner of this game now, that's an extra boost moving forward, and it actually is an extra hurt for the
And he's into the end zone for the touchdown and the game winner in OT. A couple more minutes and maybe the outcome of this one, Charles, would have been different, but ultimately time runs out in the comeback, so it falls short, and they hold on to win this by just one possession.
Not the fourth quarter they wanted, but they did earn the win, and they'll be happy about that, and they should be. Now they're going to go back to practice, see what they can do to prevent a future lead from slipping away like this one was.
So for the Chiefs, it's back-to-back victories now after the Week 1 defeat as they move to 2-1. And they'll hit